Morning, guys. How are you? Did you have a great night last night? Did you ride bikes? Did you rollerblade? Did you play cards? Did you read books? What did you do? I bet you had so much fun. I'm just naming some of the things that I used to do with Matt and Adam when they were little. I know you're having a great time, even though we can't be together. This is a special time to be with our families and hang out and do a lot of things that we normally don't have time to do. So even though I miss you, I know you're doing something cool and fun with your family. So yesterday was Wednesday. You guys remember that number? Wednesday 13, 1-3. So what do you think today is? What comes after Wednesday if we're doing our days of the week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Anybody know? Thursday. And what comes after 3 if we're counting? 1, 2, 3. Here is 4. So after 13 comes what? 14. A 1 and a 4. Just like this is a 4, now 14's a 4 with a 1. So we're just repeating those first numbers. Today is Thursday, May 14th. It is so crazy. We are already 14 days into May, which is like half the month. Next week will be our last week of school. It's just kind of crazy how fast this went by. So today is Thursday, May 14th. We're going to do a little I Spy again. So I want you guys to look up here and see if you can spy something new that Teacher Terry has put up. What do you think it is? Probably an animal, because we're kind of talking about animals today and what they come out of. And it's not something we've talked about yet. Anybody know what it is? We talked about our ladybugs. We talked about our chick. And we talked about our frog right here. Oh, I see something that's new up there. Do you guys see it? What is this? You guys know what that is? You might say it's a lizard, but it's not a lizard. Lizards are reptiles. And this happens to be something a little similar to a frog. This is a salamander. Have you guys ever seen salamanders? Well, they're like frogs in that they have moist skin. Lizards don't have moist skin. Lizards, oh, our ladybug flew down and our frog jumped. Isn't that crazy? It's just like our teeny weeny tadpole. It finally jumped right out. Salamanders are amphibians. So this was one of Matt and Adam's very, very favorite book when they were little boys. And yesterday, I picked this book because yesterday, at the end, I was talking about art and using your imagination. And I love this book because it's all about imagination. And we used to go up in the mountains a lot when the boys were little. And they would spend a lot of time up there just in imagining different little houses they might live in, picking up little creatures and trying to figure out what they would live in, making fairy houses. So we're gonna read this because it reminds me of my boys and it reminds me of you guys. Brian found a salamander in the woods. It was a little orange salamander that crawled through the dry leaves of the forest floor. The salamander was warm and cozy in the boy's hand. "Ooh, come live with me," he asked the salamander. You think the salamander's gonna go? Here's the cute little salamander. Brian took the little salamander home. "Where will he sleep?" his mother asked. "I will make a salamander bed for it to sleep in. I will cover him with leaves that are fresh and green and bring moss that looks like little stars to be a pillow for his head. I will bring crickets to sing him to sleep and bullfrogs and frogs to tell him good night stories." Well, we talked about frogs today. Look how cute that is. There are the crickets, and there's the salamander's bed. And when he wakes up, the mother asks, where will he play? "I'll carpet my room with shiny wet leaves and water them so he can slide around and play. I will bring tree stumps into my room so he can climb up the bark and sun himself on top. And I will bring boulders that he can creep over." Look, he used his little dump truck to bring leaves in. Sounds like a cool bedroom, don't you think? There's his little salamander. What else is that salamander gonna need to live? Oh, but he will miss his friends in the forest. I will bring salamander friends to play with him. Look, he's looking out the window. Do you think he's looking for his friends? Do you guys look out your window and look for your friends right now? It's a little different time. We're not playing with friends so much. We will be soon, though. Oh, they're going to be very hungry. How will you feed all the salamanders? I'll bring insects to live in my room, and every day I will catch them and feed them to the salamanders. And I will make little pools of water on top of the boulders so they can drink whenever they are thirsty. Now he's got a friend. How fun is that? He's got different coloring though. Oh, could be maybe a little beetle. There's a slug, and there's a dragonfly. All sorts of little things in this bedroom. The insects will multiply and soon there'll be bugs and insects all over our house, the mother said. I will find birds to eat the extra bugs and insects, and the bullfrogs will eat them too. Look at that. His room's turning into what? What do you think his room's turning into? I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to wait. We'll see. We'll find out. There's a butterfly and a little caterpillar. So what is Brian talking about? He's kind of talking about the food chain. We talk about that all the time. Where will the birds and the bullfrogs live? The mother asked. I will bring trees for the birds to roost in, and I will make ponds for the frogs. I kind of wish my room looked like that. Isn't that so funny? It's looking good. There's a bird. There's a frog. We talked about frogs today. This book has a little bit of all the things in here. We talked about those frogs yesterday. Birds need to fly. We can lift off the ceiling. They will sail out into the sky, but they will come back to my room when it's time for dinner because they know that I have the biggest, juiciest insects. Now look at that room. It doesn't have a roof anymore. It doesn't have a ceiling. It's got the sky. Butterflies and birds. But the trees, how are the trees going to grow? What do trees need to grow? We talked about that during Earth Day. What do plants need to grow? Can you guys remember? I think you do. They need soil, they need sun, and they need one other thing. Water. They need rain. The rain will come through the open roof and the sun too. And vines will creep up the walls of my room, and ferns will grow under my bed, And there'll be big white mushrooms and moss like little stars growing around the tree steps that the salamanders will climb on. Oh, there's a caterpillar right there. And on top of all this, the mother asks, "Where are you going to sleep?" "I will sleep on a bed under the stars with the moon shining through the green leaves of the trees. Owls will hoot and crickets will sing next to me. And on the boulder with its head resting on the soft moss, my salamander will sleep." Doesn't that look like the best room ever? And there he is with the salamander. After Matt and Adam read this book, I would go in their room and I would find all sorts of leaves and bugs and vines and things that they brought in from our backyard. Our yard used to back up onto a big field, and they would have all sorts of things, trying to make it look just like the salamander room. You know, I didn't notice if there were ladybugs in this book. We'll have to go back and look, because we talked about ladybugs this week too. We had ladybugs on Monday, and no, we had chicks on Monday. We had ladybugs Tuesday and frogs Wednesday and salamanders today. While we were reading, did you guys see a ladybug? I thought maybe I did. Maybe that's a ladybug. Remember, ladybugs can be different colors. So I love this book because it's all about a child using his imagination and conjuring up this wonderful world, having a forest inside his room. So I love that. So today I thought it would be super fun for art if we kind of did something like the salamander room. And it's kind of cool because a lot of the things in that book are what we've been talking about all week long, isn't it? We've talked about all sorts of different things that live in water and maybe in forests, maybe on a farm. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is make a great big pond. So I'm going to use blue for that. But you know, a pond could be lots of different colors, don't you think? So I'm going to put my pond down here. Doesn't have, I'm just going to go whoosh and cover it. This is my pond. What might live in that pond that we talked about this week? Anybody know? Lots of different things might live in there. Oh, I just covered one of my hearts. There's my blue pond. And I'm going to stick a tree in there because who does not love trees? I love trees. And I'm going to make the stump right there. That's my tree stump. And I'm going to just make little circles to make my leaves. Whoosh. Tree can be any way you want it to look. I'm just using kind of circles. Here's my tree. I like that tree. And what animals did, oh, I know what, we talked about a ladybug. So let's put some ladybugs in our picture. It's going to be a bigger ladybug. Kind of big for this picture, but that's okay. And I'm going to have this be its head down here. I need a little bit of black for that. Oh, my black brush dried up already. There's its head. There's its legs. You remember how many dots a ladybug has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put the dots all together. Here's my ladybug. There. Now we have a ladybug. What else did we talk about? What did we talk about very first? I know what it was. It was a chick. Remember how we make a chick? We just make some ovals. We're going to put the chick over here by the tree. Here's the chick's head. Here's the chick's body. There's my chick. Then I'm going to add maybe a little bigger head. Here. I'm going to add a beak. Whoop. Here's the beak. It's just like a little triangle. There's the feet. And I'll make a little wing up here. Just because I want to. And so we have our ladybug. We have our chick. What else did we talk about? You guys remember? Maybe I'll put a little eye on that. We'll use red for the little chick's eye. Right there. Bonk. It was a frog. And remember how we talked about making a frog? A frog, should we do him green? A frog can just be like little humps in the water. There's my frog eye. There's my other frog eye. And then I'm going to color it in. So this frog just happens to be poking out of the water. And I'm going to make those eyes red too, just for fun. Or we could do, let's do a pink. Let's put a pink lily pad on there. Here's my lily pad. What do frogs like to sit on in a pond? Sometimes they like to be on lily pads. So there's a lily pad. Now if I want to do a whole frog, I'm going to make the oval. And I'm going to make another oval going this way. And another one going there. There's the frog's legs. Color them in. And I'm going to add a frog eye. And a frog eye. I'm going to make the eyes orange this time. There's a dot. And there's a dot. And then I'm going to put the feet on there. I'll just use this. Here's my frog feet. Let's put a happy face on it. It's a happy frog. There's my happy frog. Now what do we need? We need a salamander. How are we going to do a salamander? Where's our salamander book? Well, it's just a really long oval. That's crazy. Should we make it orange? Because this one's orange. I'll put the salamander up here. So it has just a really long body. There's my salamander body. And then the tail just kind of gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I need a little head on here. Here's my salamander head. And now I need little legs. There's one. There's one. And here's the back one. And there's the back one. And this salamander has little dots. I didn't notice that to start. They're black. Should we put little black dots on them? Let's see. So there's the eye, salamander's eye. We'll make it a little big. And then we're just going to put little teeny dots. Well, they're getting bigger. That's what's cool about art. You start out doing one thing and you do another. Here's my salamander. And now we have a collage of everything we talked about today. It all comes together today. We talked about it all week long. Our chick, our ladybug, our frogs, our salamanders, they all come from eggs. And it's the end of the week. So I won't be able to see you till next Monday. But I love spending the mornings with you. And I miss you so much. I'm going to give you a great big hug and knuckles. Whoosh. I want you to know Teacher Terry loves you, and Annie loves you, and Stephanie and Nikki loves you, and Maddie loves you. And I will see you next week. Do something super fun this weekend. Be kind to somebody very special to you. Be kind to everybody. And read a lot of books and play outside. I love you guys. Bye.